lost for the first time, like when they lost lose actually. It was like October.
Versus Napoli in the away leg.
Oh
When was it though? Was it like October? Hey,
It was, I think it was middle
Like
October. It was like the first round, yeah.
so the fact that it's like okay, so they lost. That here's what gets me right. Like we've always known that like Liverpool don't have like the sickest midfielders. Okay, they have sick midfielders, but like they're not
Don't
that
lie.
creative, right? No. I mean like they haven't had like the Kevin De Bruyne's or like the Bernardo Silvas, the Dovers. They've just had like workhorses. I think we can agree on that.
They've got Jordan
But
Henderson.
like yes. So my thing is from
He's-
last season or like 2 seasons ago, the tactics have always been like if you sit back against Liverpool, then like they won't be able to break you down. Like the only way they can score, especially in big games, is like to kill you on the counter and all that shit. Sorry, fuck, I forgot about that. But yeah, so now teams that have been trying that this season, like obviously Burnley would have tried, Sheffield almost got it to work but didn't work. So like they're 25-1-0 in the Premier League, with teams parking like every time they play against them. Obviously,
They're
except
only
City.
draws against us, and we part of us
Exactly.
FC, so
Okay, wait.
Exactly. Wait.
the
Let me
Sheffield
get.
thing-
Can I get to my point? Sorry. I just want to get to my point. Now
Yeah.
they get to this game against Atletico, and obviously why are you laughing? And we get this game against Atletico, and obviously we know like the kings of the 4-4-2 and stuff are like parking the bus. But like, how come they can pull it off, but like no one else in the Prem can? Like, if Burnley can't even pull off like a 4-4-2 compact like Brexit football, how can fucking Diego Simeone pull it off when they're fourth in La Liga? Like,
Well, quite simple, bro. He got the early goal,
I
and
can
then he
tell
did what
you
he
why.
does best,
I can
which
tell
is
you.
park the bus.
Yeah.
the Prem is dead this season. That's why.
Think,
Prem
no,
performance-
you know,
All of the
Sheffield got it
all
to
of the
work
times
though.
we've
Like
been down.
if you watch
yeah, okay, what the time?
if you watch the Sheffield Liverpool game, I think it was when Sheffield were home, when Liverpool won 1-0, right? Like Sheffield got it to work, bro. The only reason they lost 1-0 was because Dean Henderson fumbled the ball. Like that's not on Sheffield as a team, you know. That's
But
just
the
a small
thing is,
mistake.
regardless of if he made that mistake or not, it still would be 0-0. That's my point. Like,
You
no
still
one's
can't
been
beat
able.
them.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like this whole best league in the world, every single team's tried and they've beaten literally everyone. And then all of a sudden, well, I think they should. This shit team in Spain, who's fourth, just tries it once and then they win. And the thing
They'll
is,
Dean-
hold
last,
three at Anfield, though.
sorry.
1-0's not enough for Anfield. They're gonna crumble.
And
They
I
have
don't
if,
think
I
if
rate
we
it
actually
as-
look at
I don't
I
think
rate
so.
it as
if we look at all the games, versus United, when I think Young was playing behind Trent, which meant that Trent couldn't push more forward. It was a tactical thing. All the times we've been behind, it's been a tactical thing. So in United, Young was behind Trent, which means Trent couldn't push more forward and get the crosses in. But then when Klopp picked this up, he put Henderson at I think it was right wing, which meant that Young couldn't go forward because then he'd leave space in behind for Henderson. Whereas now, I don't know if you guys saw the goal, but it was like literally eight Atletico players outside the box that all rushed in. It was all a tactical thing. It all rushed in, and that's when we got the goal. And then after that, they just sat back behind the ball, and we couldn't break them down because also Diego Simeone, he plays the type of football that we couldn't that like Liverpool can't
Ugliest style of
can't
football.
play against. Yeah.
The best way to nullify
So
Liverpool is
all
to get
it all
rid of their
came tactical.
deliveries. The
Yeah.
back five is what Ollie did, and Ollie, even though he's no tactician at
Yeah.
all, that is kind of what helped him against Liverpool, is just changing to that back five to nullify Trent and Rob. But then the only thing that you did was you pushed Fabinho further forward. He had more freedom in the midfield because we ended up playing with two CDMs, which was ridiculously stupid. They just occupied Hendo and Wijnaldum, who were interchanging, and then Fabinho had a free roll because we weren't intending on pushing forward. So Fabinho just came up, and that's when he did that chip over. I think it was to Mane or Wijnaldum. I don't know if this was last season.
I think it was mine.
Mane.
I know what goal you're
Mane.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you guys just scored through the middle when we try to nullify the wings, but you still struggle against us. I think that's just your main threat. So it's going to be interesting because Atletico do sit back like crazy.
Can I be honest? I saw this coming. This result. Because when I think of when I think of oh,
Fuck off, dude. No ways, bro. No ways.
Nah, he did. He did. I saw
when
it
I
coming as
no,
well,
when
bro.
I think,
Atletico are
but
dogs,
listen, yeah,
gents.
when I think of what Atletico stand for as a team, bro, I honestly thought if there was anyone who could do it, it was gonna be Atletico, bro.
Okay,
Serious.
so you reckon they can do it over 2 legs?
Yeah.
You reckon they
Nah.
can get 2 clean sheets against Liverpool?
I don't
They
think they're
don't
gonna
need
get a
to
clean
get a
sheet.
clean
I think
sheet.
if
They
they
don't
go
need to get a
through,
clean sheet in Anfield.
it'll be like through penalties. I don't think they're gonna get through cleanly. But it's Atletico. They're not gonna concede more than 2 goals. It's gonna be close, bro.
Facts.
It's
Facts.
Atletico.
No, James. I think Anfield has a story for us, bro.
Dude,
I think Anfield has a story to tell us.
listen. Atletico are dog shit. They suck. But there's one,
I'm here
there's
for that
one thing
content, bro.
Atletico, if one thing Atletico can do, they can defend, James. I'm sorry. They can defend.
Listen. Let me back your statement right there. I came prepared with facts, right? The average positions, right? No. I came with my facts here, bro. Listen to this. Atletico, on average, in the Liverpool game, only had 2 halfway line on average throughout the game. Liverpool, on average, only had 3 players behind the halfway line throughout the game. Atletico have got this, gents. Atletico
Yeah.
have clearly got the big in the game. Bro. I back them to get the results in Anfield.
Also, they're not going to concede more than
But
two.
you reckon,
I think
but
it's
you
possible.
reckon they'll get it done in like the sorry? Do you reckon they'll get it done like in the 90 minutes though? Like, do you think they'll get a draw and then just
No,
like yeah, out?
here's what I think. I think Liverpool are going to score 1 goal against Atletico, right? And then don't even consider the 90 minutes. I consider extra time a different game. That's a whole, it's a whole new game. So Atletico could grab another one. Like, when legs are tired, people aren't concentrating. I'm saying it's possible. Atletico definitely aren't getting washed. That's not going to happen. It's Atletico.
Yeah.
They can defend.
But also, I feel like you're kind of underestimating Klopp here a little bit because he's clearly not an idiot. Like you can see
Yeah.
from he's not an idiot. So they've just paid Atletico, and he knows how they're
Trent
gonna.
is overrated.
No, listen. Remember the other night when Don sent that picture about Trent completing like 3 out of his 36 crosses?
Yo, you pulled a stinker, dude.
Dude,
Cease.
sorry.
You pulled a stinker, dude. Nah, if Trent comes back in the second, he pulled a stinker, dude. Nah, Trent.
No, wait.
If he comes back in the
find it.
then they found a way to nullify him. But in the second leg, if he gets the deliveries in, they will score two, at least two. I back Liverpool to
That's
score.
my thing though. That's the thing. I don't think nullify is the right word because if he's attempting 36 crosses and he obviously only completed 3, that's just a bad game. That's just a really bad game. Like that's a
Yeah.
personal thing.
He attempted
But
20,
now,
he attempted
if
20.
they, oh yeah, okay, 20, sorry, 20. But now, obviously, they're gonna go look back on that footage and be like, okay, cool. So they're compact and they're letting us do what we do best, and that's give the ball to our fullbacks and cross. Do you honestly think that Trent and Robertson are gonna have another game where they complete 3 out of 20 crosses,
Nah, it's not happening.
Yes.
Dude. They're gonna complete a few more.
especially at home?
Yeah.
I'm just applying basic
Easily,
stats to this,
bro.
dude. Liverpool can't keep winning. They gotta lose eventually. I'm sorry, man. They can't keep winning. Man.
Yeah. No,
They
it's
can't,
it's
bro.
bound to happen. It's
They have
bound
to
to
lose
happen.
eventually, bro. I'm sorry.
But okay, so you
Otherwise,
reckon they were?
Liverpool are saying treble.
Oof.
I already
Nah, they're
called
not.
that. Dude. I'm
Me
telling
booking.
you, I
Me
called that.
booking.
The beginning of the season, I called
Told
that.
that
Dude.
long ago.
Even
Yo,
Liverpool fans refuse to believe me, dude. I told
you
them
heard it here
early.
first. Shaw just said Liverpool's winning the treble. So if they
Dude,
don't,
I
please come back
said
this
this
year and kill him.
early, dude. Nah, you can. It's on camera. Dude. I said this early, dude.
This is a side note for the 5 people that'll be watching this podcast this week. Every time Shaw makes a prediction, he gets it wrong. So some poor Liverpool fans. It's not.
I then I'm doing all the United
hold
fans a
on.
favor.
Sure.
No,
Do you
he
think
actually
Liverpool
it
are going to
actually
win the
was
league?
broken last year because he said, I don't know, it's quite a
John.
closely, quite a close competition.
Okay. So do you guys reckon that they'll go invincible?
Yes,
I don't. I don't.
easy. I think
Who
they've done
said
it
yes?
already.
They don't have many games left, dude. Like,
Yeah, there's
they
really
can,
not
Yeah.
like.
it's just going to depend on how difficult the legs get in the Champions League. If they somehow get past Atletico and they get someone else that's tough, then they have to rest players. There's a slight chance, but I still think even Origi, Shaqiri, and Minamino could get a result in the Prem. I don't care who they're playing to. They find a way. They're just annoying.
But
Yeah,
I think the,
Yeah,
I
also,
think the
I definitely
yeah,
don't think we'll lose, but we may draw some more because we might start resting our front three and then playing Origi, Shaqiri, and Minamino, which might not get us wins, but I definitely don't think we'll lose.
but
Yeah,
okay,
you
yeah,
guys find
yeah.
a way.
Well, I think you'll lose eventually. It has to happen. Like, there's no ways. I'm gonna see an invincible season. No ways, dude.
yeah.
Because I think they still have.
No,
I think they still have Everton away. I think they have City away.
yeah,
And they have Arsenal
yeah.
away still. There's
Arsenal
one more
away
like
too.
biggish game. I think it's Newcastle. That's
Chelsea
the
at
other like
home.
big. Oh yeah, Chelsea at home, and well,
Chelsea at home.
Newcastle away on the last day.
Chelsea
And they
cards
just
finished to save
Oh,
their life, dude. Now
yeah
Chelsea,
yeah
they
City,
are
yeah and
dead out here.
City
yeah
of
and they shit at
Chelsea.
home.
Yo,
Chelsea.
Batshuayi is the worst number 9, dude, in the league. I can't. Wow, Batshuayi, that guy is stealing the living.
Wait, no
He's
no no.
crazy.
How
Nah,
many?
he's terrible, terrible.
No, we're not gonna speak about that game on Monday. That game was shit, bro. We're not gonna waste our time about that
Yeah,
nonsense.
now we were lucky, dude, as usual.
Okay, we can move on then. It's fine. I saw PSG choked again. Yeah,
That game
that's
was
point.
hard, James.
It was sick.
Yeah.
Like
Where my emojis at? Where my emojis at? Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes,
here's the thing.
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, but now here's my thing. Okay, obviously PSG are
Oh,
just stop, John.
yes, sir. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So here's my thing. Obviously, yeah, PSG are chokers in that, but I mean, it's not like Dortmund are serial winners or anything. Like last year when they got knocked out by Spurs, they conceded some of the dumbest goals I've probably ever seen in that competition. So, especially since the second leg is in Paris, and like PSG have been pretty good at home in the Champions League. They've actually probably been the best team in the Champions, well, one of the best teams in the Champions League this season before that game yesterday. So, do you reckon in the return leg that Dortmund will finish the job, or Neymar will actually start playing like a top 5 fucking player in the world and actually like PSG through for
We're
once?
gonna finish the job. We're gonna finish the job. No debate.
No, I actually think at home because Signal Iduna was doing this the other night. I think at home because the PSG ultras were like insane also. So I think at home, I think PSG might also might do the comeback because Dortmund's defense kind of looked quite shaky. It's just Di Maria and no one else showed up. Mbappe and Neymar were the only ones playing, and Neymar didn't even have that good of a game. So I think PSG are coming back at the return fixture.
What do you boys think?
They're bouncing back, I rate.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
I'm
I
going
that's
honestly-
true.
I'm
I
saying
think they're
Dortmund
bouncing
full
back.
again.
So we got 2 people saying Dortmund and 2 people saying PSG. To be honest, after what PSG did to Madrid in Paris in the group stages, bro,
But we
I've never
sucked.
seen.
No,
But
we
no,
sucked.
we don't suck. We just got outballed that day. Like I've never seen anything like it. Like if we were chasing shadows that whole game, so they can play like even half as well as they did that day.
I
Then I'm
just,
sorry,
I just
John.
feel, I just feel like PSG
I
lose
just
when they
feel like
meant to
this.
win, and they win when they meant to lose. Like, I just feel
Yeah,
like
like
because
against Barca a
they're
few years
losing
ago.
2-1 against Dortmund, they're gonna go get through somehow, and then they're gonna have a massive lead in the next leg, and then they'll blow that and choke that way. They do that. I don't know how.
I just want you guys to know that Lucien Favre has 7 wins over Thomas Tuchel. Thomas has 3 wins over Lucien. So according to the stats, bro, I'm not stressing. You got I'm not even stressed. I mean, PSG for what 23 games unbeaten in all comps before this match. So
The biggest Champions League frauds, bro. Don't even worry. Don't even stress, bro.
I'm not
Don't
stressed,
worry
bro.
about it.
I'm
You know what I
not
love
stressed.
about this? What I love about this is that there are receipts. You don't have to go scrolling up chats. There are videos. So when you guys get knocked out, we're gonna come back here
Hey,
and we're
the
gonna
thing
repost
is,
them as well.
we're not even gonna get knocked out. Sancho hat trick, Holland hat trick. If Russ won't be back, but Hazard is gonna bag 3 assists. Yo,
Hey,
Yo,
I need
kid
to
is gonna
know
get
how
three assists.
Dortmund made all
Yo,
these young signings,
Dude,
dude. Like, just think of how they acquired
Yeah.
Sancho and Haaland for what, like 30 million for the two of them? How much was Sancho?
he was like 7 or like 12. It wasn't
And
anything
now
crazy.
right,
they're both
bro.
now they're both
Sancho's
worth
like
like
6
over
M.
100 mil.
Yeah, I
And
don't know what type of
Sancho's
business.
probably leaving in the summer, and then Haaland they've got for a
He's
bid.
not
But
leaving.
just
Question,
He's not
they're
leaving.
gonna make 160 million profit of those two players probably or more.
Dude, those guys at Dortmund play football manager, but it's the only way they just cover all these players.
Madness.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
It's literally
They
only
are.
way. Dude.
True.
They never miss. It's so weird.
Yo,
Okay, but
we never.
But anyway,
never
okay.
miss.
Speaking of Holland, we had this debate the other day, but we actually didn't go into depth. Do you reckon like United should have like cashed out for Holland?
We should have
Yeah.
gone, but like I said, we would
I
still
think
ruin
so.
it.
Can I
So
be
you
honest?
reckon
Can I be honest?
you reckon it wouldn't have worked out? Oh, sorry.
He
yeah,
wouldn't have
sorry,
been scoring how he's been scoring now. No ways. If you look at the way we play, it's absolutely dreadful. Martial's been starved of the ball, and even putting Haaland up there makes no difference. We have no crosses coming into the box. We have no one getting into space. I can't even remember the last time we scored a goal where someone was put clean through. It just doesn't happen. And I don't feel.
Creativity.
I agree with Shaw. I think Haaland just fits into the Dortmund system so well.
Mm.
It's actually
He
scary.
does.
It's scary how like he's playing like he's been here
It's only
since the
'cause
start of
he's
the
young,
season.
bro. It's only 'cause he's young, I'm telling you.
Dude, it's so crazy. He won Player of the Month, didn't he, in Bundesliga?
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
playing
Player
like
of the
he's
Month.
been here,
So,
bro. Like he's on the same
But I also
wavelength
think
with all the players.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And
Crazy,
Dortmund's coach, I think, is the right coach to nurture him. And also, the Bundesliga is an easy enough league for him to come into.
easy.
Whereas in I think
Easy.
it's easy enough. I think it's closer.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
closer to it's more comparable to Austria, which is where he was before, than it is to England.
Terrible.
England's
Yeah.
completely
Yeah,
different.
You get a bit more space in Germany. Let's be honest.
Comparable to
Yeah.
Yeah,
Austria.
you do.
Cap.
There's
Yeah,
no,
No,
unless you
it's
play-
more comparable to Austria than it is
there's
to England.
no
You're
respect for the
capping
most
now.
competitive
You're saying
league in
you're
Europe
saying
right now.
we are
Currently in the most competitive league in Europe right now. You're gonna compare us to
No,
Austria?
no,
Nah.
Come
no,
on.
no,
this
no.
guy capping.
Nah,
But
nah,
look,
nah. I don't want to hear it.
I'll
I don't
give
want to
you-
hear it. Not
Nah,
from
but
a
how
fan.
many
Give me
teams
a
do you have in
context.
Germany that sit back? You don't have a Burnley. You
give
don't
you-
have
Yeah,
like
to be
you,
fair. Yeah, to
you
be
don't
fair,
have
no one
teams
plays.
that just sit.
Yeah, that just said. Yeah, no one plays Brexit football in Germany.
Yeah,
Everyone plays
because we're not a
possession.
farmers league, bro. It's that
Bro,
simple.
yeah.
We don't farm. Look at your guys. Look at the Prem. Look at the Prem. How many points is Liverpool ahead of City and Leicester? Tell me right now. Tell me right now.
They're like 41 ahead of us.
Imagine.
22,
It's
I think.
Something
They're
bad
February.
like that.
ahead of
It's
City.
February. It's
Like
They might double your
February.
41.
points tally. They might double your points tally.
They probably will do. I'm not even joking. Like it,
Nah,
it can
come
happen.
on.
We
Come
haven't
on,
even reached
dude.
the 40 mark, dude.
Yes,
You
you are.
Huh?
already.
It's
You're on
Also,
50.
Nah,
We're on
you
like
relegation.
38,
Yeah.
38 points, 39 or something.
38.
Eh?
That's
Yeah.
cap. That's
I'm
major
telling
cap.
you.
Yeah.
38.
No,
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 nah,
no.
30.
Hold
No,
on.
no, because on Chelsea on like 41 and then Sheffield on like 40. No, United are on 40, aren't they?
I
Only
don't
one
think
point
they
behind
are.
Chelsea.
Or 39 or something. Let me check.
Let me
Yeah.
also check, bro. Yo, Gents
You-
are
38.
wowzers, dude.
He's on
38,
Huh?
38.
Yeah.
I
38.
told
They have-
you.
They have
And
exactly
Liverpool are getting at least 100. So,
They have exactly double your tally.
yeah, you see, dude.
I just want you guys
Ah,
to know
what a
that by
bump.
the end of this weekend, Chelsea could be seventh in the Prem.
Really?
They're playing Spurs, so
John,
If
Yeah.
if
that's
Spurs
these niggas.
Spurs win their game against Chelsea, and then Sheffield and Manchester United win their games respectively, then Chelsea will be seventh.
nah, but
Well,
Spurs
since
aren't
we-
beating.
Yeah,
Spurs aren't.
okay. Well, since we're there already, let's just speak about that. What are we saying about Chelsea versus Spurs?
Chelsea are winning, dude.
Who's home?
Sammy-
Yeah, I think Chelsea have it.
I think it's at the
Chelsea's
bridge.
at home. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chelsea.
But they're
the
not good at
bridge.
home, though. They're not
Sammy's
good at
back.
home.
See, I would have said Chelsea, but you said it's at the bridge, so like I don't know, bro. It's a
Yeah,
toss
they're
up.
not good at home. No, I think I'm gonna give it to Spurs just because the Spurs. Not the Spurs. The script dictates, bro. Like this
Son's
first game.
out, though. Dude. Son's
You
out.
understand?
Nah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Spurs are without
Yeah,
Son
dude,
Kane.
Son literally just got out, bro. There's no way Spurs are taking a W. I can give them a draw, but I don't see them winning, bro.
And Son saves Jose, dude. Jose just parks the bus and Son breaks forward. It's a one-man thing, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not happening, dude. Without Son,
Okay, dude. Okay, listen. No. You're not. And you can't just slander Mo and then just leave out the fact that he's got
Mo
it.
is dead
No,
outside, dude. Man's dead. Nah,
no,
he's
no,
finished, dude.
no.
Nah.
Man's
Listen,
finished.
no.
Levi made a
Since,
mistake, dude.
since he
I know
signed
you're gonna say
since he signed for Spurs, he's gotten the second most points in the Prem. Nah, dude, put
I
some
don't
respect
care.
on
He'll
his name.
bottle it, bro. I don't care, dude.
Nah,
Mo is finished.
Nah. Mo is putting in work right now, bro.
Yeah,
Nah.
no, Jose is doing bits, bro.
Nah, he's
Like
dead outside.
it doesn't. It's not pretty on the eye, but it's working. And I think the
It really
Spurs.
is not.
And I think he'll get Spurs like a cup or something, which I don't know they'll be happy with because they don't really win many trophies.
Shut up.
Now, honestly, on Son being out and Tammy being back, that alone is enough for Chelsea to win. They created chances against us. Just watch why you destroy all of them because he can't finish to save his life. But Tammy there, Son without, well, Son not being there to get Jose out of jail, I can see Chelsea getting a 2-0, 2-1, something like that.
Sammy
I
low key
went 2 0
fraudulent.
I went 2-0 on Super Brew, bro.
Did you? Chelsea.
Yeah.
if you're bluffing, I'm gonna be hacked. I'm gonna give Spurs the win, just solely because Katie normally has like good games against Chelsea. Like he normally scores. He actually loves the London derby. And then he had a shit game last night. So I reckon, and he got subbed off in like the 63rd minute or something like that.
Did you
So I
see him
reckon
throw his stuff, dude?
Yeah. I don't even think he was playing that badly, to be fair. But yeah, anyway. So I reckon this weekend it'll be like a redemption thing. I don't know. Everything just seems to be like adding up for Spurs to just have like this big performance after this, like all these injuries and like a new manager and this midweek fixture. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Spurs. Also, I can't swear. Sorry. I wanted to say F Chelsea, but I won't. Shout out all the kids out there. Okay, and then the next one is Leicester City. Okay, Leicester versus City.
I think Leicester have this. City aren't serious anymore.
You reckon? You reckon Leicester gonna
City
take?
aren't serious. City aren't serious. City aren't serious. There's no reason for them to even care about the Prem anymore. They might.
Yeah.
So I really think just even if they say that they care, the motivation it can't be there because like the only reason they're playing was to get into Champions League because that's the only reason Pep was brought in, and now he's out. Now they can't. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know where City go from here.
So you reckon they'll rotate next week? I mean this week, sorry, before Champions League.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout actually.
But
Yeah,
like
but
deep
even a
rotation,
second
like
team can do a job, dude.
He's lit.
City are angry
that's
after
what I
that
was about to
ban,
say.
dude. City are angry after that ban. I'm telling you, dude. That's why I captained KDB, dude. I was like, nah, he's gonna do something against West Ham. That's why I was like, nah, they're angry.
Okay,
So.
dude, please, no, okay, now see now
So
this guy's acting like he captained KDB on Monday, but the game he started like last week.
I captained him, bro. I'm
Bro,
telling
he
you.
didn't even
I
start
knew.
last week, bro. It
I
started
knew.
like 2 weeks ago.
I
It
knew.
started like 2 weeks ago.
Nah, I knew. I saw it coming.
What you knew City would get
You
banned
saw
from
the
the
ban
Champions
coming.
League.
Nah. Honestly, they lost their last game, right? So I thought they'd have a bounce. Who beat them?
Yeah, they did. They lost to they lost to Spurs.
Yeah, right. They lost to Spurs. So that is why I captained him. But then the bounce back from that and then being banned, they're angry at the moment. I'm telling you, they're gonna.
This
I think
game
they're gonna
week
best
was 12 days long. Stop lying.
No. My original reason was
They
the bounce back
edited
of
this
Spurs.
article, bro.
But I added the ban in there as well. It's two reasons.
Okay, what do you other think? Do you reckon Leicester will like beat City? Because
Nah, I rate City. It could be a draw, but I would edge City to still win it.
yeah. Sandro, what do you reckon, boy?
City. Oh no, I just don't think. I don't think they care anymore. I think they stopped caring a long time ago. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm honest with you. Like, you know, when
See?
you think Pep City, I've not seen it this season, bro.
Nah, but Vardy's gone missing, dude.
Yeah, you've
That is
seen it in
true.
patches.
That is true. But I feel like Leicester just at the moment have the bit between their teeth, and in the Premier League, a team that wants it more seems to make the difference. You know.
Yeah.
So do you
Especially
reckon
with
if
60-kilometer-hour winds? Then it's really who wants it more. Tactics go out the window when you kick the ball there and it ends up over there. Tactics go out the window.
wait, okay, so do you guys think if City were to obviously like weren't able to get this ban overturned, do you reckon there'll be a mass exodus? Like I know like Pep's been saying and Sterling and someone else said, yeah, we're gonna stay in that and like renew our contracts and all that, but like do you reckon they're just showing face or do you reckon they'll actually stay?
Showing face, bro. They must lie to
Yeah,
us.
they're showing face, bro.
He's definitely going to lose a lot of players this summer if
Let
they
me-
don't get the ban overturned. Especially if it goes as far as them going to League Two. I don't see a lot of players staying.
Can I ask
Okay.
you a question,
And-
Tom?
Yeah?
That being, do you think Pep was being serious when he said if he loses this fixture against Real Madrid, he could get sacked? Because that could make
Nah.
all the
Not a chance of getting sacked. He's literally their best chance to win the Champions League. There isn't a manager in the world right now that could get them the Champions League. Just like Pep Guardiola. If he can't get it done, then it just wasn't meant to be. So I think he was just playing mind games with Madrid. That's all. It's just strange because like he had that press conference like a week ago, and when he playing next week, so
I
Yeah.
think it
Actually-
depends on Pep. If Pep dips, then it's over for that team.
I think Sterling will stay. I think Sterling will
Nah.
stay because his next club is going to be like
Sterling's the
West
first
Ham
one
or
out.
something. No,
West Ham.
his next is going to be West Ham. Who's gonna sign him? Maybe he'll go to like Paris or somewhere funny like that. China are looking for people, but I don't know who's gonna sign him. Everton. No, maybe he'll go to Everton. No, he won't because he's played
Sterling's
with
trying to
Liverpool.
sign for Coronavirus FC, bro.
Nah.
Why making the editor's job hard, dude? Come on.
That's not cool.
Nah. Okay. If let's not one. Okay, let's say this max exodus happens. Like, where do you think the players will end up? Because I'm trying to think of like the best teams in the world, and I'm trying to think of like gaps they may have, but like there aren't really many. Like there aren't many.
Dortmund
You know what
are
I mean?
signing full.
If Madrid can't get the Mbappe signing done, I think they'll capitalize on taking Sterling. He's still fairly young, so like we're not gonna wait around for somebody who's like.
You
I
guys are
think
taking
I think
dusted players, bro.
I think we'll grip Sterling.
Honestly, what I see happening is the appeal is going to be somewhat successful. I think that's going to get reduced to a year. I think 2 years is too detrimental for the Champions League ban, and I don't think the Premier League is going to act too. They might give them a bit of like
messed up, bro.
they might charge them money, and they've got enough money, so that's not a hassle for them. So I think if it gets reduced,
transfer window banned.
whatever. But if it gets reduced to 1 year, I rate Raheem will stay because he's still young. He's got time. But KDB is 29, right? So I think if it's reduced to 1 year, I think Raz will stay. But I think KDB might say, okay, it's time to bounce. Maybe try get some Champions League football in towards the end of my career. So I could see KDB leaving if it gets reduced to a year, which I can also see happening. But then I don't know who would buy him. I don't know who would buy him.
KDB.
Yeah.
I reckon you'd go to
Like-
Inter, to be honest.
I don't think
Yo,
Inter have the money
Inter.
for him.
Nah, that would be
They've splashed
crazy.
cash. I don't think they have money for KDB. KDB is
Okay,
going to
I
be at
hear
least
that,
100
yeah.
games.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I think Inter are slowly building the super team down there.
They are,
Like,
but
I
they
know-
splashed cash, dude.
Like,
Imagine
Inter-
they sign KDB and then they get hit with financial fair play, dude.
And then we
KDB
know
gets
the
stuck
problem
there, dude.
is, bro.
Wait, no, bro. Wasn't Madrid? Didn't Madrid have to? Apparently, I read in an article that said Madrid had to sell Bale and James to balance
no,
the
I
books.
s-
We also
yeah.
in trouble with financial fair play,
Yeah,
or
I know
like
what
we
you're
might
talking
be in
about.
trouble.
I know what you're talking about. I think they have to like balance their books or something.
Yeah,
Because there's only there has to be a balance. I don't know. Like I don't think any like fan knows the exact rules of how
I also don't
financial.
know. Like, I heard like we are playing with fire right now. We really are playing with fire.
I don't know, dude. I feel like it's more politics and rules, to
We
be honest.
cannot
But yeah,
cannot afford a 2-year ban. Bro. think of Champions League is all we have is Madrid. That's literally all we have.
I
No,
honestly feel like the
Liga is
only
owned
place
by Barca. We suck at the Copa del Rey. Like it's literally all we have.
the only place I can see is Juve. If Juve don't go for Paul again, because Paul's also leaving, then I rate the
Paul's going to
KDB.
Juve.
Because Juve still. I think Paul's going to Juve. But
Paul's going
Yeah,
to Juve.
I also
yeah,
think
so
No, he's not.
You don't
I
reckon he's going to Juve?
Who we gonna cop, bro?
He's going to Juve.
yo, dude,
I
a
don't
Paul
know.
and Ron link up is
He's going to
mad.
Madrid.
Yo,
Yo,
Paul
bro,
and Ron.
it's crazy.
Dude, the balls you
Yo.
put on Ron's head will be mad,
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
That link
gonna
up
call
is sick.
financial fair play. There's no way Juve can have Paul and Ron in the same team. Bro.
Yo,
That
the
doesn't
link
make sense.
up will
Oh,
be.
Paul and Ron. They still have Deluxe in defense, don't worry.
Imagine.
It'll balance out, bro. It'll balance out. Oh, what does that say?
So what are we saying? United just drew to Club Brugge.
Is the
I
game
don't
over?
mind that.
They
Game
just drew
over.
1-1, bro.
We got the away goal. I don't
Are you
mind.
sure? Are you sure the game's over?
And it is over, eh?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
over. 1-1.
Oh,
I don't mind the 1-1. We got the away goal. Then they still have to come to Old Trafford, but I wouldn't be surprised if we won it.
yeah.
Gents,
No, I think
Inter
United
are a
will get
hot
it through easily, to be honest.
Ooh.
What?
Chris Eriksen scored his first goal for Inter today. Didn't he?
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, he's
And
But that-
Lukaku scored the second. They won 2-0.
Yeah, well, I don't think we'll speak about Syria that much, but like, I feel like it's kind of rough. Like, Inter having like the greatest season since their treble winning year, and they're third
And they're
right
still
now.
gone. Yeah.
Dude, they're third right now. Juve are somehow first, and they're playing the worst football I've probably ever
Yeah.
seen from a team leading the table. And then
It's
Lazio out of
just because
nowhere, it's like,
Ron's turned into something else this season.
dude. And then you get Lazio like out of nowhere who in second place. I mean, I can't say I watched them that much, but it's just strange. Like they're like 22 games unbeaten.
It's because the teams in the top two are being carried.
Who's carrying Lazio?
Immobile.
Oh, but dude, Lazio have a decent team. They have,
it's
dude,
not.
they have Savage,
No
Savage
way,
and all
bro.
that. Yeah.
Dude, I promise you, bro. That's bagging goals like it's
No,
nothing.
wait. Hold on.
Lead for the European Golden Boot race, bro. He's literally leading the European Golden Shoe race.
Nah,
Golden
it's-
26 goals.
it's crazy, bro.
This guy,
He has
did you
20,
not know?
bro. He has 26 league goals, bro. What
Did
the
you not know
hell?
he played for Lazio?
Oh, I knew that. I just didn't know he was doing bits, bro. 26 league goals. Come on, dude.
Dude, when you
Come
were
on.
hyping him the other day,
It was me.
Because he's fucking crazy, but not 26 goals crazy, bro.
they're in Europe right now. Are they even in
Dude,
Europe, actually?
Don, what do you reckon went wrong for him at Dortmund? I just want to know from your point of view, actually.
He's not
I
a
just like
Dortmund
to
player.
point out
Bro.
the fact
He's not a Dortmund player.
You're right.
Well, I just like to point out the fact that DSTV has not given us Bundesliga in 5 years. Just okay, carry on.
Has it? It's
Six.
been six,
That's
hasn't
because
it?
that's because they
Yeah,
thought
six.
Serie A. Because they thought Serie A was more important. But anyway,
That's
Oh,
because
bro.
of fun, bro. For man moves. And
Okay.
I died.
as I was saying,
Yeah, sorry.
Immobile didn't work out at Dortmund because of his play style. Like if you watch Immobile at Lazio and you watch him at Dortmund, bro, it's like two different players. We're asking him to do something that he isn't able to do. You know what I mean? Like if you watch Holland perform, it's like you can't compare them, bro. They're different types of strikers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys see that post about Haaland almost beating the 60-meter record on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Crazy.
Sounds like
So
cap.
it's gas,
Or
gas.
not.
No way.
No.
Bro.
It's believable, but
Wait.
you have to remember he's gonna be faster if he's starting while moving. So that's why he's able to get so close. But still impressive nonetheless.
Mm.
But he wouldn't have been able to match that time if he was starting on blocks, for example. You know.
So he's
I
fast.
hear you.
He's tall.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a poacher. And he scores ridiculous long range goals.
Yo,
And
and he's a
19
lefty.
years old.
Dude. And he's a
dude,
lefty, dude.
Dude.
I love a good lefty, dude.
Nah, he's
Yeah. But the thing is, the sad thing about this is like there'll come a time when he doesn't score in like 6 games, or like he scores like 2 in 12, and then he's gonna get crucified. I think that's the one.
pressure is going to come.
Yeah. I think that's the one good
he
thing
was.
about. I think that's the one good thing about him not going to England and like playing for United, especially right now.
United.
If he went even like 30 minutes without scoring, or like not even shooting, bro, I don't know.
And
Nah,
it would have
I
happened,
can
dude.
tell
It
you-
would have happened.
I can tell you
Yeah.
right now, if he goes on a drought, he's not gonna get crucified because Dortmund doesn't get that much coverage, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, Sancho leads Europe in assists, bro, and no one knows that. Why does no one know that?
Bro, no one cares, bro. Like, no.
I mean, no one cares, bro. Bro, he's
No,
got
that's
more
what I'm
assists
saying.
than
No
Messi,
one
bro.
cares about Dortmund.
He's
bro.
got more
Like,
assists than Messi.
Jens, are we
I
aware?
see what
That's
you're
what I'm saying. Like, no one cares about. Are we aware? Royce has one career trophy, bro. But he doesn't get, doesn't get trolled about.
Nah, he doesn't
doesn't
have
get trolled
one,
about
bro.
those.
Won a trophy. One trophy.
Yeah, it was a cup. It was a GFB here.
FB Cup in 26.
Yeah.
And he's like 31 this year. My word.
Well,
Professional
people
trophy.
like Danny Alves, he has like what 40 or something mad.
Bro, Royce has
Nah, no one has
40.
trophy.
fuck off, bro. No
No,
one
how
has
many does he have? I saw he's got lots.
Royce
Yeah,
has-
I
doesn't
just-
he? I think
gang, but he's not
Iniesta
such,
134.
he's got like 32.
Some are
Yeah.
dead trophies, but he still has gang, dude.
I think only Thiago Motta or something has more. It's someone weird. Yeah, or like Habitat or something.
What?
Yeah, dude. You know how many people Messi has carried on his back throughout his whole career? But that's a story for another day. But there are so many people that are deemed legends somehow, but were carried by Messi their whole careers.
Name one.
We'll talk about that
Name
another
one.
time.
Name
Dude,
one right now.
Danny
Name one.
Alves has 43 trophies,
Not
dude.
much of a debate.
Listen.
Not much of a debate. Next time. Next time.
43, dude.
Next episode. Join us on the next episode of the Back Five. We'll discuss
Yeah, dude, we'll discuss all the people who are deemed legends that were carried by Messi. Actually, I like
He's
that. So I'll
got
write that down.
42 trophies more than Royce.
40,
He does.
40.
Rose
when you
won
said
a
like,
trophy at the start of this.
no, no,
Rose won a trophy at the start of
Royce,
the season.
why'd you have to
Relax.
put on Royce, bro?
yo, dude.
Yo, why'd you single on
Nah,
Royce?
Royce needs to give up now, dude. It's time to
Ah,
retire.
dude, come
Oh,
on. Let's roast
leave him
him.
alone.
Nah, that's
Oh,
disgusting.
Okay.
That's
But was
disgusting.
cover of FIFA, bro? Because Rose was cover of FIFA, so I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I still don't know how that happened, dude. I don't know how Royce made us. Yo, did some bribery happen there?
No,
How
this
he managed?
Bribery
How
is
he managed to get on the
this guy
cover,
thinks
dude?
football
I
has
don't
money,
know.
bro.
it was a fan vote that
It was
year
this-
because
Yeah, and it was the season after they won the thing, the DFB Cup. He had a trophy to his name. Things were looking up.
and it was that
Yeah, it's
transition
his
period.
greatest accomplishment.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Yes,
that
he has
was
a
a
FIFA
vote.
cover up in his own.
Fan vote, hey, Torbs.
Huh?
It was a fan
Wasn't
vote.
that the year where the fans voted who was on the cover?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying. But because Barca and Messi moved to Pez,
Yeah,
they lost
Rose
the
has
camp.
more votes than Hazard, bro.
but it was
And
out
wasn't
of
that the year Hazard won Player
out
of
of
the
a
Year?
select group of
Sick,
bro.
bro.
It was a small group, to be fair. It was like Neymar, Mbappe, Royce, and Hazard. That's it, yeah. And someone else, I don't remember who, but I don't think he had to beat out like super. Like, okay, yeah, Neymar was a superstar, but I mean, I don't think PSG
Hazard,
fans.
bro. So is
Oh,
Hazard,
dude.
bro.
Dude, only like he was only a superstar there in London, but no one else cared about him. To be fair, so I'm not allowed to slander him. I'm not allowed to slander him. Cut that out. I'm not allowed to slander him. Okay, this is finish up quick because this guy has to go. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I read an article. I think it was like yesterday or like the day before, and obviously Kane's injured as well. But and they're not sure when he's coming back. Most say he's probably out for the rest of the season. And then yesterday, I saw Oli said that Rashford is probably also out for the rest of the season, and he's probably going to miss the Euros. So now my question is, if Rashford and Kane miss the Euros, who starts up front for England?
It has to be
What?
Tammy.
Tell me.
Nah,
Tammy.
body. Yeah, has to be.
Body
Tammy.
has made himself
Can't be Body.
available.
Buddy retired,
Yeah.
though.
Tammy,
Yeah,
dude, it has to
Body
be.
retired.
Well, they
So
they pull some strings, bro. They gotta ask him to come back. They gotta beg.
okay, bro. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. Sorry. If you had to pick a front three, like, if you had to pick a front three for England right now, no Kane, no Rashford, who would you pick? Front three.
Raz and Sancho are definitely in. And then it's
Yeah.
just about, you could try play Raz as a false nine, but then who comes in on the left?
I mean, you could have Sancho
Ox.
on the
Or Ox.
No, you can't.
I think
yeah.
Because Raz can play that false nine role. I've seen him do it for City a few times. He drops into the pocket there.
put Sancho left, and you can play Raz sort of like a free roaming false nine. Then you can play what's this guy on the right?
Who? Who, bro? Who?
How, bro?
Who, bro?
Which
Bro,
guy?
which guy? Oh, dude.
I'd say Hudson Odoi, dude.
Nah, if you said something Odoi,
Hudson Odoi.
Nah,
okay.
What's his name?
Nah,
nah.
What's his name?
I'm not having that, dude. No.
Nah, I'm not hearing that. That's not going on.
Nah. No way.
Nah, Jets, Hudson Odoi is fire. I don't know what you guys hating, bro.
Nah.
Fire.
No, he's not ready for the Euros, dude.
Okay, Sterling's in the center. Who on the right? Who else?
Dude, you picking this front three. I don't know why you're asking us.
If we're being realistic, it's gonna have to be Sancho, Raz, and Tammy. You're just gonna have to play Raz on the left, Sancho on the right, Tammy up front, I think.
Okay, but now here's where I think the problem comes in. Because for Leicester and Aston Villa, Jack Grealish and James Maddison have played games on the left-hand side of the wing. So now, surely they have to. Not that you have to find a way to fit them in, or like one or the other, but like it feels kind of, especially since like England have no like creative midfielders. Yeah. So surely, don't you think we should try fit Maddison or Grealish?
My issue is Maddison and Grealish offer exactly same thing. Like exactly the same thing. I see no point of adding both of them to the team. At the same time, that is, one of them has to start. Like that's not a debate. But I see no need for both of them to be playing at the same time. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah, I hear you, but I'm saying, don't you think you have to fit one of them into that front three, especially with no Rashford or Kane?
Nope. I think they.
I
Nah,
slot Jack Grealish at cam, bro. Simple.
Yeah.
I think they probably be.
I choose Jack over Maddison as well. I think he's like Maddison wouldn't be shining in that Villa team. And I think if Jack was in that Leicester team, he'd be doing even better than what he's doing now. I think he's having a crazy season.
Eric Dyer makes the squad. England are out in the group stage.
Okay.
The midfield has to be Hendo, Jack, and someone. I don't know who the third
Eric
midfield
Dyer
is.
makes that team.
Nah. Ali, I guess. But then will Hendo be CDM though?
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
yeah, but also playing Grealish and Ali at the same time is a bit counterproductive because
Unless you play Ox as a box to box. Hendo, Ox, and Jack.
I rate England play 4-4-2, bro.
Oh, bro.
Diamond wide.
Okay, a diamond. Okay, not a diamond wide, but like maybe like just a normal
wide, bro.
Dude, this isn't FIFA. That's not gonna work, bro. See, they're gonna be chasing shadows the whole game if they play diamond wide.
Bro, wide bangs on FIFA. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying right now.
You are lying. It won't work. What the hell?
I said bangs on FIFA. Tell me Diamond White doesn't bang on FIFA.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's not FIFA, man. Dude,
They're about to go
play probably the most competitive Euro competition in like forever. You think they're gonna go play FIFA to test out formations?
Oh, dude, what else can they play? Piss. Come on, bro, get serious.
Please take me seriously. Okay. Here's what I reckon they should try to do. I think they should do that 4-3-3 and then have Grealish on the left, but he can roam. Sancho on the right, but he can roam. And then Sterling up. Oh, but then I think they do need a target man. But I think because they play possession football, and I don't think they'll cross much. I think they should play
Sancho crosses gang. Sancho crosses gang.
And
okay, but they're not going to play around Sancho. That's my point. I'm saying like the way England play. Gareth Southgate
Sancho's literally the face of the country right now.
No, he's not.
I can see Trent putting crosses onto Tammy's head, dude. I can see that happening. Tammy's good in the box. He knows.
Trent is
he's got
not
good
touching
movement.
the ball. Sancho's on the pitch, bro. I just want you to know that. Defensively, Trent is not. Trent is not seeing the ball if Sancho's on the pitch, bro. I don't know where he getting this notion that Trent is gonna be putting crosses when Sancho is there.
Right now.
He will be crossing, don't you worry.
Okay,
Even
you
from
know what?
set piece.
You know what? Because we're clearly not getting anywhere with this
Huh?
England jet. Your homework.
Sancho is taking set pieces, bro. I don't know what you're on about, but it's fine.
No, he's
No
not.
ways,
It's
dude.
gonna be
No
Trent.
Huh?
ways.
Kick.
No
Never.
ways. Now put some
Disgusting.
respect on
Yeah.
Trent.
No,
Okay,
What
wait,
was-
wait, wait.
It
I
What was that
want on
statistic
record. I
about
want on
Sancho
record right
the
now.
most
I
assists
want
in
on
Europe?
record right now.
I think that was
Sancho taking set pieces for England. Like
What?
he's taking the corners, both sides. I want on
It's gonna be
record right
Trent.
now.
What the hell?
It's Trent.
Bro.
Why wouldn't
And it's
Trent
not
take
gonna
set pieces?
bro.
Sancho is
Because
better.
Sancho's better. Simple, bro. What else did you just want me to say, bro? He leads Europe in assists for a reason,
Bro.
bro. How?
Trent has gotten back to back. I don't know if he's actually
I
got to double.
swear Sancho has 13 and Trent has 12.
Bro, and
And
one's a
Trent's
different
playing at
back.
right back, dude.
Ah, dude, come on, be
Bro,
serious.
Trent plays right wing. Can we please not lie to ourselves? Please,
Dude,
can
no,
we not
please
lie
shut
to
up.
ourselves?
No, okay, done.
Bro,
We're not gonna act like
Okay,
is that
wait.
solid?
Hold on. Tell me, what is Trent's tackle percentage this season, bro?
Is what?
It's not even 50. It's not even 50, bro. He's meant to be a defender. What is that? Come
Sorry,
on,
I didn't.
He's
What
not
did you
defender.
say? I didn't hear you. What is your
His tackle success rate.
Are you serious right now? The team that's top of the log, the team that dominates position every week. You're gonna tell me about tackle success rate? They literally
He's
always
not a
have the ball.
defender, bro. That's what I
Dude,
said.
they
He's not a
literally
defender.
always have
Bro.
the ball. Dude,
That
but they
sounds
literally
like
always
that
have
sounds
the
like a
ball.
trend problem, bro. That sounds like a trend problem. I'm just saying not a defender, bro. You must just come out of his hiding spot and be like, I'm a right wing, gents. I'm sorry to lie to you, bro.
Bro, that's like comparing like Trent's assists to Wan-Bissaka's assists. United, okay, they do have the ball, but they just don't do anything with it. But I mean, like, you can't bring up tackle success rate when they always have the ball.
Okay, no, but I didn't bring up number of tackles. I brought up success rate. Big difference.
is
If I
true.
brought up
But
number
they
of tackles,
always
yeah,
have the
argument.
ball.
It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
but
What are you
I
trying to
brought up
point out?
success
Whenever
rate.
he has to make a tackle, he doesn't make it.
He does.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but think about it. Think about it. If you always have the ball, the only tackles you're making is when you're running back to your own goal. So it's never going to be like 1v1s if you always have the ball. You're going to be getting counted.
You lying.
So-
Pepe shot him in a 1v1. Don't lie to
still
yourself.
making-
Pepe child
We've
bird,
gone
bro.
off topic. The
Yeah,
point is
Pepe
Trent's
is
going to be
not that,
taking
bro.
set pieces.
Pepe child bird,
That's all
bro.
you need to know.
What's that?
Trent's going to be taking set pieces. It's
This guy
going to
has
happen.
this. What are you saying?
Hey, bro.
Trent's
You
definitely
think Trent is gonna take corners over Sancho?
100% he's taking corners over Sancho.
And he's not. That's the worst point.
Okay, cool. You know what we must do? After this, or whenever you have free time, obviously, everyone
Yeah.
must draw up their best England 11, and we'll see from there.
Can we do two? Because I've got another idea.
Okay, I'll wait. You can do two.
Yeah, flourish,
You want-
bro.
I have two different
Cameron
formations.
Shaw, I
Because
swear if
clearly
you
we're
put five
getting
at the
anywhere.
back, we're removing you, bro.
No,
I'm not.
I'm hearing. No. I'm hearing the three at the back chat, bro. So you do
I'm
that.
hearing the three at the back.
Makes so much sense.
Maguire, Gomez, and
Nah, don't spoil,
Wan-Bissaka.
don't spoil.
I'm telling you, but nah, okay, yeah. Next
Then I'll
time.
find out
Yeah,
later, bro.
Wait, would if you play three at the back, would YNB be one of the centre backs?
Yes.
That is my thinking.
Yes.
Yes. We'll
Yes.
move on.
Okay.
We'll talk about it next time.
That's
Yeah,
next time.
we'll speak about it next time. Anyway, to wrap up, what Champions League games are there next week? Big games. I think it's Bayern, Chelsea, Madrid City. Those are the
Yeah.
two big games.
Let's do some predictions before we
Predictions for
go.
Bayern, Chelsea. Does Chelsea stand a chance against Bayern? Like
No.
any chance?
There's also Napoli Barca, bro. I
I
don't know
don't
why
think
you
it's
guys
going
are
to be a
forgetting.
washing, but I don't think it's going to be much of a competition either. I think Bayern are going to win their home leg 2-0, and Chelsea are going to lose their home
Bayern's away
2-1.
next week.
Yeah, regardless. Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, in my opinion, I genuinely don't think Chelsea stand a chance. I think
Yeah, I also don't.
They-
I don't think Chelsea
I-
stand a chance.
yeah, I think the team is too young for such a big game this early on in the competition. Like the league's getting deep as well, and like they're just not in good form. They can't win home games, and
Frank
you
is not
need
on
to win a home game
Champions
against
League.
Bayern.
16 right now.
Yeah, to be honest, I think a good result for Chelsea would be to keep both legs, like the aggregate score, like at 5-1, like under 5-1 or something. To be honest, I
I'm
genuinely don't give
saying, I'm
genuinely
saying
don't
Yeah.
aggregate score 6-2. Aggregate score 6-2. That's my prediction for the Chelsea Bayern.
I can see them getting clattered there, dude. Yo, on their away leg, it's over for them, dude. Lewandowski's gonna have a field day.
They're getting slaughtered, bro.
Yeah,
Lever's gonna
my
score 4 goals in 10 minutes, bro.
See, that's the thing. That's what I'm afraid for them because like Chelsea do this thing where they ball out for like 20, 30 minutes in a game, then they switch off for 5, and they start playing again, and they switch off for like another 2 minutes.
Nah, but when they're balling out, they don't finish.
Yeah, they don't score.
They
Yeah, that's
don't
it.
finish.
Like they don't take their chances. They're just like there to like do passing drill or something.
They literally
Yeah,
have 0 goals from it. I mean, they don't have 0 goals from midfield, but I'm just like no
Yeah,
one
yeah.
scores midfield, dude. And then if Tammy's not fit, no one else scores.
And that's the thing. If you give obviously someone like Lewandowski, like you switch off, like the goals they conceded against Chelsea they were disgusting, dude. And if they can't even stop Martial from getting a header, bro, Lewandowski is gonna.
It was a clean goal though, dude.
It was, but I mean, they really should not be getting posterized by Anthony Martial in their box. Christensen sucks. So that's a story for another day as well. And then the big one next week is City Madrid. What do you guys think? The neutrals. The two neutrals. What do you guys think?
Neutrals.
For the first
I'm
leg.
going Madrid, dude. I think all the pressure's now on City because they know they're not going to be the Champions League next year. Now they're going to put too much pressure on themselves to do well, and I think they're gonna bottle it.
What do you reckon the score will be for the first leg?
I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1.
That's not comfortable.
City will score, but I rate 2, maybe even a draw actually, and then they'll lose the
This
second
guy's
leg.
sleeping on the best defense in Europe. Alright, okay.
Who's home? Who's home? Who's home in the first?
I might go 1-1.
Madrid.
1-1.
Okay.
And then the second leg, Madrid will win.
City on scoring on the Bernabeu.
What do you say, Brun? What's your prediction?
I'm saying City.
Yeah.
I'm
The
saying
score.
City because
Score?
I think they're so motivated. They've got nothing to lose now. I think it's gonna be maybe 2-1, 2-1 to City.
Don, what do you reckon?
Home leg.
I don't know. It's a tough one, bro. But Madrid are home, so I give it to them, bro. I'm saying 2-0 even.
You? Okay.
Sando, what do you reckon?
We struggle to close games. That's one thing I've noticed. Like we often like so like that goal that just called game. We can't get it, bro.
Yeah.
That's been a huge problem lately. I really would like to believe that we can this time, but I think we have it in us to keep it 1-0. But I don't think we're gonna call game. I think it's gonna be 1-0.
1-0. Oof. Yeah. I
We
think
can't call game. I don't see City breaking defense at home. I don't think we'll to get that away goal. We can't. And I know our team knows we can't afford to.
Yeah. If you asked me about this fixture at the start of the season, I would have told you it'll be like a boxing match, to be honest. Like it'll just be end-to-end stuff. And then the first person who misses will probably be the person who loses the game. But I don't know what Zidane's done to the boys this season. Like it's a different Madrid. The attack has suffered a little bit, but I think he's just compensating for the fact that obviously we lost Ronaldo and Hazard got injured as well. So like goals are only coming from like mainly from Benzema. So when he doesn't score, we do struggle a little bit to score. So with that, our defense has gotten so much better this season. I think Courtois is leading La Liga in clean sheets, and I think we have the best defense in La Liga as well. So because of that, and the fact that like Madrid are a different side in the Champions League, and we've got Ramos, Zidane, CEO winners, closers.
Bro,
I do think
certified winners.
next week especially in the first half. We're gonna make it nice and compact. We're gonna try to keep the ball, press City high, and then I think I don't think we'll run away with the clean sheet, but I think we might sneak away with a 2-1 or a 3-1 to take back to the Etihad. But yeah. But also, that being said, I don't know, after what Madrid did on the weekend, like drawing 2-2 at home against Celta Vigo at like 18, I wouldn't be surprised if we did something stupid and like drew 3-3 or something. But yeah, I do think I do think that result was a wake-up call, and I do think they'll be sharp and ready for City, because I think they have a lot to prove in the Champions League as well. Yeah. So I reckon 3-1's my final prediction.
Okay. Then what's the other game? Barca
Napoli game.
Barca Napoli.
Barca.
You guys realize
Barca's gonna win that.
Honestly, Napoli's coach is flipping Gattuso, bro. Like they don't stand a chance against like Messi alone. They don't stand a chance. Like I don't. Yeah. Again, same like Chelsea and Bayern. They can concede less than 5 goals. That's a good result to build on for next season, bro. Yeah. I don't know who else is playing next week. We're missing
Barca do look different though without Suarez. I definitely think we're struggling a
Juventus.
bit more than
Juventus.
usual.
Yeah, Juventus and Lyon.
Juventus and oh no. Ooh, listen, I'm not sure how Lyon are doing in the French league, but man, Juventus are so unpredictable. I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost the first leg. Yeah,
You're right.
Juventus are just so unpredictable. It's
So
like you just don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe Ron will carry them, but I don't know. I do think they'll go through, but I think they might be mistake. They're 11. Okay.
In the French league.
But I mean, they did terrorize City a bit in the group stages. They weren't horrible.
But City suck.
I think Don's clearly tired, so I think we should end it on that because Don wants to go sleep now. So yeah, that's the end. Nothing else about really. So we'll meet again next week Thursday. He's signing out. Okay, sign off, bro.